Hello, everyone. My name is Randy Anderson. I'm the Chief Operations Officer for Modexus, and I appreciate you joining us for this conversation wherever you may be in our world markets. But I'm excited to do this recording today because we have a guest with us. He is an advocate here at Modexus, but he's also an individual that has years of experience in our industry. We're an affiliate marketing program. We're going to talk about that a little bit here in a minute. We're also, first of all, a health and wellness company. But I think one of the great products we have is our compensation model. And the gentleman that you're going to talk to actually was a part of or contributed to the very beginning and putting some of the ideas together we had for the Modexus Smart Pay system. And that's new news to a lot of you, but we had to tap into his knowledge and his expertise. So with that, I'd like to bring into the screen Mr. Rick Moore from the Atlanta, Georgia area. Rick, how are you today, sir?
I'm great, Randy. Thanks for having me today.
Well, I'm looking forward to this conversation. You know, we had a phone conversation the other day, and you had a lot of great points. And I thought, you know what, people need to hear this and need to understand the power of what we have with the Modexus Smart Pay system. And a lot of times, I think a lot of it just kind of gets overlooked. So Rick, if you don't mind, I'm going to just kind of ask you a few questions, and I'd like for everyone listening to hear your input and your thoughts on these questions. So I'm ready if you are.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, first of all, I mentioned this. I mean, we are a health and wellness minded company, but we utilize an affiliate marketing distribution plan. And that's a little different than you'll hear people say MLM or network marketing, but I really think we need to pivot away from that term. We're an affiliate company, health and wellness first, but we've got an amazing distribution system and compensation model that fits that. So I'm going to let you address that because, you know, I know you've got some great thoughts on this.
Well, I think first of all, it is a different kind of a company, you know, and I think that you know, first and foremost, the whole structure and the whole idea of this company being put together is different to me than what I see out there. It doesn't fit in any specific category. You know, different styles of compensation or commission plans. It doesn't really fit in that, and that's a good thing. It's the main reason why I'm here. I love the idea of you can just build a business in its purest sense and not even really worry about too much about how commissions happen, because of the way that it's put together, you're going to benefit from whatever you get started, and it's just a natural way of if you were building a business and there was no such thing as a commission plan, you just knew that, well, I led some people to the products and I help people, you know, build their teams as, you know, and the person that pokes their head up and really wants to do something, I just go help them do it. Right. And the way this is put together here at Modexus is it serves the purpose of taking care of the person that does just that. So you can just free flow build with whoever's popping their head up in your organization and need some help and some guidance, and you know, if you're building a team in a business like Modexus, it's only natural you're going to help the people who are raising their hand and saying, hey, I want to do something here, and or I need some help here, and the more you take care of those situations, that's really how you build a significant income in a business like this. It's very simple.
I agree with that. And I think part of, you know, a couple of things that I'm kind of picking out of this, and I know this was important to you, and it certainly was to me in the beginning as we authored this plan, was that, you know, people actually get rewarded for what they bring to the company, whether you're bringing a handful of customers or you're looking to build an advocate team globally. Whatever level that you're getting compensated for what you actually bring to the company. And this plan does that. The other thing I think I'm hearing you say too is that this plan avoids the pitfalls of structure. And some people listening may not really understand maybe what that means, but you're qualified to explain it to us. And
sure,
I'd like you to, because that can mean a lot of different things.
Structure structure is a speed bump on a road to success. Okay, I mean, truly, that's what it is. When you're compensated if you do things in a certain way, but a business like this, you're kind of herding cats a little bit. You don't know where people are going to pop up. There might be 10 people pop up in a group on your left, and then nobody in the next 3 groups, and the next person pops up and brings 5 or 6 people in, and then the 4th or 5th person that came in the 5th group needs some help. Well, it should never enter your mind in the natural way of building anything that, well, how does this impact my business? There are a lot of companies that are in the genre of company that we're in, where you have to really be careful where you spend your time, because some places you could spend your time and not get, compensated, at least in the near term, for what happens there. And so there's none of that here, right? Here you just identify who wants to do something, help them do it. And that word structure, practically speaking, structure doesn't exist here.
So
That's a good thing.
It definitely is. So a term that, more experienced networkers maybe use or hear is, company breakage. And then I think also it's, people want to label things, right? They want to, well, it's a binary plan, or it's a unilevel, or it's a breakaway, or it's this, that, or whatever. And you said something the other day that I thought was wise. He said, you know what, the Modexus Smart Pay system doesn't need a name. Doesn't need a name at all, because it's as pure and true to what our great industry should be as anything that we've seen possibly in a couple of decades or more. So would you elaborate on your thoughts there and the statement you made? Because, and what is breakage? What are these different plans? Why does this not need a name?
Well, it will go back to it'll touch back to the previous question too, because breakage is a function of structure. Compensation plans or commission plans in any kind of a business have certain structures, so you only get paid if you do certain things a certain way. And so there are lots of, whether you're talking about binaries or unilevels, or, we're getting past where compensation plans need names, right? But Modexus can't be identified by any of those terms, and that's a good thing, because of the lack of, I'm going to say it a different way, because this is so free flowing, and that you just naturally go build, put as many people in as you want to, or as few as you want to, as long as you're working with people and creating business. Does it matter if you do more and bring more people in? Certainly it does, but I think most people really succeed in this business build other people, right?
Yes.
And most of the revenue that comes from their activity is from helping other people have success, gain in leadership, and grow large teams, which comes from generating volume, right? And so because of the way Modexus is structured, you can really build your business by identifying someone and building them up and getting them super solid, and giving that person all the time and attention that's necessary to help them build, and then go do it again, and then go do it again. And you may do it again inside that same organization, or you may do it again with a new team. But you and I both know it's faster to take a group and make it bigger than to keep trying to build new groups and start over, right?
Yes.
It's just a faster way to generate revenue for the company, and it's a faster way to generate more revenue for the rep, and it's a faster way to turn that into income. So, right, that's kind of what's going on here. And so that's why this compensation plan doesn't need a name. Just go find somebody that wants to build and build with them.
So we just don't need to complicate it, with, trying to put it in this box or that box, because it is definitely unique to the industry. And there's very little, if any, breakage in this model. I mean, is that a fair statement?
Let's define breakage. Breakage is revenue that's generated by the rep force that the reps don't get paid on.
Yeah.
So
that sounds fair.
If you're listening to this someday and say, well, I guess breakage isn't really good for me. No, breakage is not good for you.
Right.
Breakage is bad. Breakage can make you broke.
Yeah, definitely. So
sorry, all you fans of the different comp plans out there, but
yeah, and
that,
we're not
having been on the corporate side, Randy, we know that's not here, but in a lot of
exactly.
places,
And again,
breakage is a profit center for the company, but not
I
for
want
us.
to. It definitely is, and I think we both want to state this too. Is we're not throwing rocks at this plan or that plan or whatever. I mean,
No,
it's it's just that people need to understand the differences. They need
yeah,
to understand that this is an affiliate plan. It's completely different than anything you're going to find out here in the industry. And I know that's what attracted you. But Andrew Reinhardt, our CEO, you've known Andrew for a long, long time, and I know in my conversations from the very first time I met him to present day, this type of plan is important to him. When we have a company owner that is 100% bought into this plan, I'll tell you what, he's got a lot of other choices. Maybe choices that short term would be more lucrative, but he understands the big picture. You've known Andrew for a long time, so would you like to? I'd love for you to speak to that, because this is unique as well to have a CEO.
Yeah, I think I can cover that pretty well. So, and you're right, been around it. I think I probably met Andrew probably a dozen years ago, maybe longer, maybe a few years longer than that. The older I get, the less I can remember how long ago things were. But yeah, Andrew's had a lot of success in business. He was a driven person as a young person, and found things, that were just, really things he felt like he could grab a hold of and grow. And then we know, his geography, right? He's from
Yes.
that Salt Lake City area, and certainly was around a lot of people that have massive success in this industry. Legacy companies, just all kinds of things that he got to see. He's seen all the way through his life, right? And I think, as he himself got involved in the industry, I think he wanted to create a company, in my view, that did it a different way, and that there had to be a better way. And it's always been that search for a better way. And I think that, it's real simple what's going on here. We have products where there's enough stuff that's on the label in the product that the product actually does something. One. Number two, there's none of this structural element in the commission plan. If you just take those two definitions and apply it to every company you've ever been around, and this isn't to throw rocks at these companies. There's two kinds of decisions here. You're making a cost of goods decision on one side of your business, right? And you're making on the commission side, you're making what can you afford in percentages to pay out, right? And so I think all of that stems from Andrew looking at a business like this and saying, I want this to look more like other businesses I've been a part of. And once enough of the marketplace becomes aware of how good this is, every company has its tipping point, right? Once enough people are aware that this is truly different, that's when you see things explode. And I think one of the purposes of us having this conversation today is to make the existing people that are already part of Modexus understand exactly what they're a part of.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I couldn't think of a better person than you, Rick, to be able to share this message, because you've lived it, you breathed it, you understand it, you've known Andrew a long time. So I really appreciate that. So the last thing I want to hit on here is the fact that, as free flowing as it is, it still is something that if you want to build a significant business here, you certainly can. The plan allows that. But one of the traps that I see so much in our industry, especially people that have been around it, maybe they're conditioned to other types of plans. I'm just going to hit it head on, Rick. It's not a lottery ticket. We have retention products. We have and they're long-term retention products. When people start using our products, they're formulations that they're going to want to have a part of their life and their family's life for a long time. But our smart pay system is the same way. If you come and you do the work and you stay consistent, you're going to be rewarded. So turn the floor back to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about how to unpack this and be kind.
Just go
I mean,
head on.
Well, I just think that it's rare to find a combination. It's rare to find a combination the way things are put together here, and sometimes you can miss the subtlety of it, right?
Definitely.
And so I think, to me, let's do it this way, Randy, if we can. And this may not directly hit that question, but I think it's something to cover. Who's the kind of person that you would like to have in your business, right? To me, I want the busiest, most connected person I can find, right?
Yes.
That's what I want. I want the busiest, most connected person I can find. Occasionally, you may come across somebody who, hey, listen, I'm going to jump in and do this thing 700 hours a week and until I've created a whatever. But typically, that's not going to be the backbone of your business. What's going to be the backbone of your business is somebody who was attracted for some reason, in some way. They might have been attracted by the relationship itself. They might have been attracted, by the products. Typically, one of those two things is kind of how they got here. And so, I just want to kind of focus on what this is, right? And so how to approach it and how to like take this information here today even and say, hey, listen, all we want to do is have you think about if we're talking about this is truly radical and different, then who should you be presenting it to? And to me, you want to find the sharpest, most energetic, connected people that you can find. And that's the person that's going to get what this is, because it is subtle. And I've been involved in companies in the past, Randy, where I had to spend, I probably had 7 days in a month to spend on the business itself. I had to spend the last day of the month trying to figure out if I was going to get paid or not, right?
Yep.
And none of that's here. And I think sometimes, here's another thing that I believe is going to happen here that's maybe not happened in some other places is we can attract people that have maybe been in a business like this, but never bought into a business like this.
Yes.
And it's because sometimes the people running it, promoting it, aren't treating it like a business, right? And it's maybe that could cover a lot of things. And I know I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here, but as I think about this company and what's great about it is that this company won't embarrass you, right? You can be comfortable here. You can be comfortable that the people that are running this business and how this has been put together, and I'm not going to use the term structure, but the way this is put together, it fits together so well that you can be proud of promoting this and not be let down, right? And so I think if I was a person listening to this right now, I'd think anyone can and should be exposed to these products. I mean, they're necessary, right? They fill a need. People will get benefit from these products, but take it as seriously as a business as anything else you might be doing. I've done a lot of things. I do a lot of things. I'm still doing a lot of things, but I carve out time because I think this is important, Yeah. And so I apologize. I kind of got stuck on that. I apologize, Randy. I kind of got stuck there. It's like, as I think, who would you want to, you could approach anybody about this is what I'm trying to say. I don't care how successful they are. I don't care how, there's nobody too big to not bring this to, because at some level, we know they're going to benefit. And I don't think there's a lot of companies out there, and I don't think there's a lot of people out there. You don't have to go tell people that you're making $10,000 a second, right? That's not necessary. What's necessary is they have to see a path to growth and see a path of a company that makes them spending time and attention on that company a worthwhile pursuit for them.
Yeah.
I think it comes back. I think it comes back to the compensation plan, the commission plan, because you won't have any wasted steps.
Yep.
And one more thing I want to cover, Andy. I've been in a couple of companies. I was in a company one time in an organization. I put a couple hundred people in that I shouldn't say we as a team put a couple hundred people in that organization in a very short period of time, not even a month. By the end of the month, I figured out I'd put it together wrong.
Yeah, that's not a good feeling, is it?
No.
I've been there as well, and
yeah, and you feel like it's not like, so you move on, you go, you kind of, it breaks your heart in that particular company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you stick around because there's enough going on. And that was kind of my case. Well, I kind of stuck around because there was enough going on. But my enthusiasm was completely under control,
Absolutely.
So I want to tell people with confidence that you're not gonna wake up one day in Modexus and find out you did the wrong thing, because you can't do the wrong thing.
Right.
You can't do something. You're gonna get compensated on. You don't have to worry about it. It's the same thing when you trust in the connections that you have, that you're not going to be embarrassed later about something that, I wish that wasn't explained right. There's none of that here. There's nothing to. Hey, honestly, there's nothing to explain.
Yeah.
I know I went way off the track there, but
no, you didn't. People need to hear this. Those of you that are already here at Modexus, I mean, you're hearing from somebody that had contributed to the initial writing or authoring of this plan, but he's put together plans. He's walked the walk. He understands some of the things you share. I've experienced as well. It's just, you just don't have to worry about bringing people to this company. Rick, I think you're right too. I think there are way more people out here than we realize that they love this industry. They love what this industry can mean for themselves, their families, for their friends, and long term. But there's nothing worse than building something and being worried every day, looking over your shoulder, whether it's going to be there for you, or it's the end of the month and you have to go push and shove to make sure that you get paid. And there's just absolutely none of that here. You're absolutely right. So one last thing too, a lot of you guys are going to hear the phrase, if Charlie's making it, I'm taking it. Rick Moore is responsible for that phrase. And, we're going to see more of that as well. So that's certainly a part of this as well, but it's good. But Rick, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you investing some time today and sharing your knowledge with everyone here at Modexus. And of course, if there's anyone that is not yet part of the company and you're looking for a home, I would encourage you to get with the person that shared this with you. And we would sure love to welcome you home here at Modexus. So Rick, thank you for your time today. This has been brilliant. We appreciate you. We appreciate your input from day one as far as making this the company that we are, and we're getting a little bit better every day. So guys, thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in. That's all for now. And until next time, stay healthy.
Thank you, Randy.